In this lesson, we're going to start painting in some texture. And the way we're going to do that is that we're going to start using some simple brush techniques. So we're going to take a look at a couple different brushes and seeing the different textures that we get from those. So let's dive in and start adding texture to our character. If you look at my layers panel, I have the black fur, white fur, and then eyes. I have them all on separate layers. As I get further down along in the image, I start to compress and flatten things. But for now, let's refine this because I noticed that I didn't add any variation of color. Again, I don't like to use 100% black. It just doesn't feel as natural. So I pretty much just picked that same color and then I went up a little higher. Moving this up here, maybe a little to the warmer side. And then I'm just gonna hit that edge. That's a little too saturated for my taste, but I'm gonna desaturate that a little bit. And again, not overboard. Subtlety is key. And I'm just gonna hit the areas that I feel are gonna catch some of that light. Same thing with the nose. The nose is not part of the black fur obviously, but it was the same color, so I kind of just have it all grouped in the same layer. I don't think that much of anything else is gonna really catch a whole lot of light. I think that maybe this top part of the leg will catch some light. I'm gonna look back at my reference. I'm gonna touch up the white for a little bit. I'm gonna move on to this section here, and I think I'm gonna push my darks here a little bit. I'm using the soft edge brush because I think I got some of that rough texture in there with the other brush. And now I really need to kind of start blending. I think I have enough texture and it is a build-up. Some of those rough brush strokes are still gonna kind of like shine through a little. And really push these shadows a little bit. I've scaled it back some in some areas where I intended it to be really heavy or really dark. I don't want this to be super contrasty, but in some areas it definitely is needing, like around here right under the nose. The nose is gonna cast a shadow on the side of the face a little. I think I'm gonna really push it a little bit further out into the face. So doing that now down here, I want to kind of do the same thing and push those darks a little bit. I think that some of the color from the ground down here might pick some of it up. And here I really lost a lot of that texture. I'm just trying to figure out where those dark areas are going to be, and then I'll come back over with the textured brush and bring in some of those brush strokes that I kind of lost. Just adding in a few brush strokes scattered throughout creates the illusion of that hair, you know, without having to paint the whole thing that way. It's the exact same color in those areas, it's just a different edge to the brush. And I think I might do that up here in the face as well. Just here, just on the edges where those lighter colors meet. Here I'm gonna bring back some of those darks, but I do want to do it with the soft edge brush. And I might just end up doing a combination of the two. The key light isn't directly hitting this area here, so I don't know that it would cast such a defined shadow in that area. So I think going with a softer shadow is fine. The closer that your light is to the object, the harsher the shadows and those highlights are going to be. The further away, the softer it's going to be. So yeah, I think this is good for now for his fur. And like I said, I'm gonna eventually merge these two, all of the fur, the eyes and everything. In the next video, we'll do that. And then we'll start adding some effects for the fur, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so now that we're done refining the fur, just want you to continue to remember that the more you push those lights and those darks, that's what's going to figure more volume. And remember when we talked about ambient occlusion, all of those little dark areas and shadows is going to really take it from feeling like a flat object to something more round and dimensional. Now in the next lesson, we're going to talk about taking the gun and refining that and making that feel more dimensional and real.